John Henri.
Hey, Minnie. How's
I got
it
a
going?
joke for you.
What's your joke?
Why did the chicken cross the lab?
I don't know. Why?
To get to the other science.
Ah! Hey, welcome back to the lab. I'm John Henri, and I'm so excited to do science with you today. I have my friend Minnie here to try an experiment with us.
Hi, my name's Minnie. I am a director at one of the KAH centers.
Minnie, are you excited for some science?
I'm so excited.
We're going to try some experiments with some eggs today. You can try this experiment at home or at KAH. Here's what you're going to need. You'll need a cup, something to stir with, some salt, some water, and an egg. All right, Minnie, do you like eating eggs?
I do.
What's your favorite way to eat eggs?
Boiled.
Boiled? Ooh, I love a good omelet. Now, eggs can be a delicious part of your breakfast, but we can also do some science experiments with them. Have you ever tried putting an egg in water?
Yep. I do it when I boil my eggs.
That makes sense. Let's try that out right now. I'm gonna pour some water into your cup, and we're gonna see what happens when we put the egg into this cup of water. Minnie, what do you think is gonna happen?
I think it's gonna float.
You think it's gonna float? Let's try it out. Go ahead, drop your egg in there and see what happens.
Yep.
Hey, it didn't float. It went right to the bottom.
Yeah.
Interesting. Minnie, why do you think the egg sunk to the bottom of the glass?
I just think it's too heavy.
That's right. The egg is heavier than the water, and that's why it goes down to the bottom. Now, how do you think we could make this egg float? You know, if we made the egg lighter than the water, it would be able to float. But we can't really do that without taking everything out of the egg. What if we made the water
Heavier than the egg.
Yeah, let's try that out. So I'm gonna add some water into my glass, and then I'm gonna need that salt over there. We're gonna add a whole bunch of salt to this glass of water. So you're gonna pour your salt in, and then you're gonna use whatever you have to stir to mix that all up. It might take a little while, and it works better with warm water. The warmer the water, the faster it will dissolve.
How do we know when the salt is fully mixed in the water?
When the water is clear and it doesn't look white or murky anymore. It's pretty clear.
Pretty mixed in.
I can see through there. So I've added a bunch of salt, and we're gonna see if anything changes when we put this egg in here. You ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and it's still sunk to the bottom. Let's try adding more salt. Whoa!
Now it's doing
Do you see that?
Yep.
When I add the salt in the water, the egg just floats right up to the top.
Wow.
Whoa!
So technically, the water is heavier right now than the egg.
That's right,
Well, John Henri, why does the egg float when there's salt in the water?
because of the water density.
Well, what's density?
That's a great question. Density is how much stuff is packed into one little area. Obviously, these cups are filled with about the same amount of water, but this water is heavier than this water, and that's because there's more stuff in this water. We added a bunch of salt into this water, which makes it more dense. And because there's extra stuff in this water, that makes it heavier. The egg, though, has not changed its weight. It stayed the same. And that means that it's now lighter than the water is, and it goes up to the top. So the egg floats in salt water because the salt water is more dense than the water without the salt. How cool is that?
Well, that's why it's easier to float in the beach than it is to float in a pool.
That's right. Ocean water is made of salt water, whereas fresh water doesn't have any salt in it, which means that the ocean water is more dense than fresh water. You know, that's one reason why icebergs float, is because they're made from fresh water, whereas the ocean that they're in is made from salt water. So the salt water around the iceberg is much more dense than the iceberg itself. Kind of like our egg.
Yep, that makes a lot more sense now.
So much cool science we can learn from just this little egg. Did you try this out at home? How much salt did it take for your egg to float?
Did you use cold water or hot water?
Try that out at home and let us know how it goes. I had so much fun learning about science today, didn't you, Minnie?
I did. I had a blast.
That's awesome! I hope you can join me, John Henri, again soon to do more science with Kids After Hours.
Well, thank you, John Henri. I had a lot of fun doing science with you today.
You're welcome!
High five.